All right. That's better. That's a little bit better. Sheesh. I have no clue. No clue what was going on. All right, so yeah, I just want to get a few things up and running here. Not any major news going on today, but just want to touch base on some things, and maybe we get some conversation going in the Discord. I'm gonna tweet it out. Tweet it out. Tweet it out. If anybody's in the chat, just say what's up. Let me know that you're there, that you exist. A tweet should have gone out actually. Let's. So I just posted on the Discord. We've been talking about a few things. One of the topics that came up was Devontae Parker, right? As we all know at this point, he's traded to the Patriots. We got a 3rd round pick next year for him. So the question is it worth it for us? Did we make a mistake? And to be honest, I always feel a little uneasy trading. I'm gonna turn on some music, by the way. I always feel a little bit nervous trading away a guy, especially in the same division. It's just, I don't know. It just scares me. There's too much that could potentially backfire, right? But it is Devontae Parker. I mean, it's not the end of the world, if we're being honest. We may, if his injury issues continue, we may only see him once this year anyway, at best. We usually play the Patriots early in the year and then at the end of the year. So we did get a 3rd round pick, which is light years better than what I thought we would get for him. So you can't hate it too much. But it is concerning because in the way that the media is hyping it up doesn't make me feel any better, right? They're talking about it like it's this, the Patriots came out with this great guy, number 1 wide receiver, and in their case, sure, he is a number 1 wide receiver in their locker room, but is he that great of a wide receiver, relative to the rest of the league? I don't think so. I think he does have the capability to be, a 1,000-yard receiver again. I wouldn't put it past him, but he's got to stay healthy, and I think most people at this point probably don't have enough faith in him to do that. So we'll see. I'm a little bit nervous that it's going to come back to haunt us like another Wes Welker situation. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyways. One of the big things I really wanted to talk about was the Dolphins' chances of maybe being Super Bowl contenders. And I know it sounds crazy. We weren't even a playoff team last year, but neither were the Bengals, right? And I think going into this season, we're a much better team than the Bengals were last year, and we're a much better team, I think, even still than the Bengals are this year. I just looked. You weren't on what? Sorry about that. Hey, see, I told you. I told you I was on. Yeah, I just posted the link in the Discord. So if we can get a couple people, I might open it up and just got here though. That's fine. I've only been on for like, what is it? 10 minutes. I haven't really touched on anything. I was talking a little bit about the Devontae Parker trade and how whenever you trade to a division rival, there's always that bit of anxiety, right? Like, is this another Wes Welker situation? I must have looked like 11 minutes ago. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. The stream maybe was on a delay. But yeah, I zero anxiety over DVP. This is the thing. Look, if he stays healthy for a whole year with the Patriots, it's a steal for them, right? He's not the thing to make Mac Jones good. What if he is though? You know, we can have our thoughts and things, but DVP is a good wide receiver. He just can't. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, he's a 1,000-yard wide receiver without any question. I'm not worried about it because we have Xavier Howard, we have Byron Jones. Like, we're fine. But I do think it was a big upgrade for the Patriots over what they had. It does make them better. If he does something he's never done before, he'll be great. He had 1 year where he was healthy, and that was the year that they paid him, right? He had the one good year, and then they paid him, and then that was it. But you're not wrong, dude. I don't deny that the guy can't stay healthy, or he hasn't been able to stay healthy. But if he can, it's a problem. And injuries again are really like. I always kind of push back a little bit when people talk about wide receivers and injuries. Because it's such a random thing, and I mean, it's football, right? People get hurt. So much potential unrealized. I don't think he's tough, and I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he's been in a position where he could be a leader, right? If you're injured every year, how can you be a leader? How can you be somebody to be counted on if you're just not in the building, or if you're just not healthy enough to be in the thick of it? In the grand scheme of things, I don't think. You could probably grab some people from DW's Coach chat as well. I'll usually write over there, but I don't get a lot of feedback usually. I'll drop a link in the Discord. Yeah. Um, dun, 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 dun. The problem is a lot of I have a lot of crossover with DDW's Discord. Um, I'm trying to pull more people over from Twitch or from Twitter. I'm sorry, because I got a lot of guys over on Twitter, but they're just not super familiar with Twitch, or they're not super familiar with Discord. This is I'm kind of like the first person in this niche in the Dolphins community that's really pushing this. I have plenty of like contacts with a lot of Doug. I talked to Doug before, and I'm actually working with him and a few of the other Dolphins YouTubers because we want to do like a Madden rebuild this offseason to see which YouTuber can put together the best Madden team. So Doug's already told me he's on board. I just have to set up a time with him. He's busy, obviously. But Doug's on board to do it. I've talked very briefly to TD Finstock, but he's a little bit more difficult to get on board. Doug's a little bit more. I've talked to Doug more regularly than I have TD. Most of the time when I'm talking with TD, it's just on stream, but a few of the other YouTubers, Stephen D was down to do it. So there's plenty of guys that I've gotten into contact with, and I just need to bring them into the whole Twitch space, even though I am streaming also on YouTube and Facebook. It's just a matter of getting people comfortable with Discord. Again, Discord's not really big in the Dolphins community. What am I trying to do with Madden? Oh, like a rebuild, just a competition between the YouTubers. So basically, I've got the guys over at the Fins Tailgate that are down to do it. I got Doug to do it. So we're going to basically do like a competition where I'll have them on stream and we'll do a rebuild in Madden. So we'll start the season from the Super Bowl, and I'm going to give them free reign to basically rebuild the team and see who in 1 year can have the most success, And they don't have to, again, the idea is that they don't do what the Dolphins did, right? It's can they rebuild the team themselves? How would they rebuild the team, right? So that's what I'm really interested to see to do. And, maybe we'll make a prize, like we'll donate. I'm a big card collector, so I got some cards. So maybe we can donate a card that they can give away on their channel, right? For whoever wins it. Just something fun to do in the off season, right? Because especially now it's starting to get really slow, and the draft is going to be boring as hell for us this year. There is no draft for us. It's just not going to be as exciting, right? Nobody's rebuilding it like McDaniel just did, right? It's going to be tough, and I'm going to make it so that... Okay, I don't know. It's fun. I Madden a lot when I can. Hey, if you want to come and do it too, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be just the YouTubers. We can have some of the guys from the community too, and just see who can do the best rebuild. It's just... Again, something fun, because as fans, right, how many armchair GMs and head coaches do we have in the fan base that say that they could do it better? And all right, here's your chance. Who can actually do it better? And at the end of the day, it's a game, right? It's Madden. It's not it's not real. But it's just fun, something for the fan base to do in the off season, and an interesting way to kind of pass the time. I had a Madden season with 4 friends last year. Yeah, Madden's a lot of fun, dude. I haven't played as much Madden as I used to when I was younger. Honestly, we all play different teams. The thing with Madden is just when I like to play competitive games, and the Madden competitive game, right, the Madden Ultimate Team has become so hyper competitive. It's so difficult to just... Not only the pay-to-win aspect, right, because EA is a blood-sucking corporation... But Madden Ultimate Team is like, that's the major competitive aspect of the game. Sure, you can do, like, I like to do rebuilds and stuff, and that's fun, but Madden and Ultimate Team is like where everybody's at, you know. And locally, I don't have many friends here locally that play Madden, or even online. Like, just not many people play Madden, right? So if you want to play with people, you got to play Ultimate Team. Private season with friends is great. Playing the GM is the best part. I don't doubt that. I just don't have a lot of friends that play Madden. That's the other, I don't have a lot of friends that play games in general. I mean, I'm 31, and I don't know, like, all my friends, they just got old. I don't know if anybody else, I don't know if you've experienced that, but I mean, I still game regularly, and I play games with my kids, like 36. So I mean, you probably experience it too. Like, some friends, they're just like, you can tell, right? Some friends, they just got to a point where they're like, oh, games are a kid's thing, whatever. It's like, the fuck? No. It's weird. Like, some of my friends that I used to play games with, they just don't play games anymore. Life gets to people, can't fault them. Dude, games are my escape, right? At the end of the day, I work from home, so it's tough because I'm in this office a lot of the day, but I work, you got to do dinner, spend time with the family. But when the kids come home, games and fishing, one or the other. Oh, bro, since I've moved to Georgia, I haven't been able to fish. I don't know the fish, but I grew up in South Florida. I lived 15 minutes from the beach my whole life, so fishing was a big part of my life, and I don't have that now. And fishing is a massive, like, stress reliever for me. I need to get with it and find the spots. Find some spots. I like the extent of my bass fishing is like walking to the park by my house and like sticking a worm on the end of a hook and just chucking it in and dodging gators. It's great in Georgia for bass, striper, carpy, trout. Dude, I just got a boat less than a year ago, and that it needs some work. I'm still putting a little bit of work on it, but it's a little boat. It's like, I don't even know, like a 10-footer. It's a great little boat, and I just need to clean it up, and it should be still running and all, but haven't had time, man. Like, it's been so crazy with my job has been really crazy, and kids in school and COVID. It's just craziness. But I definitely want to find the spots to take the boat out and do some freshwater fishing. I have zero knowledge of freshwater fishing. Taking a look in the Discord. Hold the phone. That was right behind. Hold on. Just chatting. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. That's a big boy. That's a big bass. Started 2 years ago. Have a blast. Yeah, dude. I gotta get with it. I gotta find it. That's a massive bass, dude. That's huge. See, the one thing I dislike about freshwater fishing is that nobody really eats freshwater fish, right? I'm so used to like going out and like you bring home dinner for like a couple weeks. You eat fish for a couple weeks. But I mean, honestly, just for the fun of it, fish for trout or crab. Yeah. I've literally never caught a trout in my entire life. I've caught a bass. I've caught bass. I've caught tilapia. Right in Florida, it's bass and tilapia. You don't eat tilapia. You probably shouldn't. It's basically the cockroach of the fish family. It's basically the worst fish in the world to eat. The Chattahoochee has a trout in a... Dude, I know there's good fishing out here. I have yet to step into that world yet. Blue Ridge. I'm in Loganville, so everything's a little bit of a drive, but I don't care. I'll drive a little bit just to get out and fish. Man, I haven't fished in so long. It's been years. And it sucks. I have my fish tanks though. At least I can watch my fish tanks. Give me a second here. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. I'm gonna send. But yeah, so enough fish talk, right? We talked about one fish. Thinking Loganville's like 45 minutes from you. Yeah, there's not a lot of big Google Maps a pond. All the ponds are like I actually have like a spring. There's like in the lot that I own. There's like a little natural spring, but there's no fish in it. It's just a natural spring. But yeah, dude, I need to get out there and fish. I miss it a lot. So I think I got somebody else that wanted to come in and do a panel. So are you interested in hopping in the panel and chatting it up? Oh shit! There was like a big fight. There was a race or something tonight. And there was a fight. Did you guys see that? That's nuts. You're not doing anything. All right. Yeah. I created a new channel in the Discord called Stream Chat, and I made it so that I created a new rule. One dude has a helmet. Yeah, dude. I'll pop it up on the stream in just a sec here. All right, let me turn the music off for a sec. Hold on. Shit's crazy. It's nuts. Here we go. I don't know. I can't make it really big. Dude, they're going at it, dude. He's angry. He's angry, boy. Yeehaw. Holy fuck. That's dope. All right, I'm going to open up the Discord. Can you hear me?
Yo.
What's up, dude? I forget I have push to talk, so I have like push to talk for Discord, but then it's open on Streamlabs. Got to remember that.
Yeah, I leave that shit open all the time on Discord.
I do push to talk because I have my kids running around all the time. So if I'm ever playing a game, you know, my kids will just run up and start yelling random stuff. It makes for awkward moments.
Was that a NASCAR event in Atlanta like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I fucking met Emmett Smith and he invited me to go. He owns a team.
What?
Wild ass story.
That's nuts, dude. Emmett Smith.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I met him and two of his business partners, and they have a NASCAR team. And then they said they had a race the next day, and they invited me and my wife and my buddy.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, we got to hang out in the pit, like on the tower, the race tower with Emmett Smith, and we got to go in the suite, VIP area, we can basically go wherever we want. But it was really cool.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Emmett fucking Smith. Met Emmett Smith. I met Troy Aikman. I met Vlade Divac. I met I'm trying to think of football players. It's another big one I met. I don't know, I've met a couple. Life comes at you.
That's crazy, dude. I've literally met nobody. I've met nobody ever.
I met Tony Gonzalez at the beach. It was really cool.
That's dope. Yeah, I don't know why. I lived South Florida my whole life, and I'm sure there's been plenty of opportunities to meet. I've maybe been in the same vicinity, but I've never come like face to face with anybody of interest, of importance.
Met Eminem.
How are you meeting all these people? What are you doing?
I work at a restaurant.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's crazy. Emmitt Smith came in, and then said hi to him, and he wanted to talk to me about what we do, and ended up inviting us. It was fucking crazy.
That's dope,
like,
dude.
He's like, "You work tomorrow?" I was like, "I'll not work tomorrow. I'll take the day off."
Yeah.
We can go.
If Emmitt Smith tells you to come to something, you go. You call everything off. Like if you're having a wedding the next day, you call that shit off, dude. You go. You go chill with Emmitt Smith.
My wife is a big Cowboy fan. She was like hanging out with us, and at the end of the race and everything, we were looking at the car, and like the car's all fucked up. They crashed and all this stuff, and
damn.
we were looking at the car. She's like, he came over and started talking to my wife, and she's like, "Holy fuck, he talked to me!" Like she's like losing her shit.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I guess like as a Dolphins fan, that would be like the equivalent of meeting Dan Marino.
Like Dan Marino, yeah.
I've never met Dan Marino either.
My grandpa used to drink with Larry Zonka back in the day.
That's nuts.
Pretty wild, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've got.
It was so bad.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, like I have my sister-in-law worked at Boat Campers for a little bit, and you know, there'd be some of the Dolphins players would come in through there, down in Miramar, but yeah, I don't know, just never been at the right place.
I do work in Boca, so I'm gonna be going down there for some games this year for sure. Try to go to opening day if I can.
Nice.
Or home opener.
That should be
the only game I went to last season was the Colts game, and it was so fucking bad. Brissett played, and we looked like
We don't speak of that name anymore.
That was really bad.
Brissett is the name which not be mentioned.
Yeah, he was terrible for us.
Honestly, I can I be honest with you? I kind of wish we would have kept Brissett over Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm going to tell you why. Brissett is not a threat to Tua. That's exactly. The only reason why I wish we would have kept him. Because you know what you're getting with Brissett, right? Like he's bad. He's not good. He's a below average NFL quarterback, and that's what Tua needs. He needs somebody that he's going to look like the greatest quarterback in the world against, right? The last thing Tua needed was Teddy Bridgewater in the locker room. It just doesn't bode well. I'm not feeling it.
Teddy doesn't have the mentality to help develop him. That's why he's trying to take his job.
100% he's trying to take his job. I promise you. That's why he said what he said in that interview, right? He said it because he's coming for his job.
Yeah.
I'm going to write somebody here. So, what do you think about the Dolphins' chances of some postseason success? What do you think about that?
I think we win the first round, knocked out second round. Fine. This depends. Either way, I think we only win one game. But are we a wild card team, or you know what I mean? I think we're probably a wild card team. I don't think we take out the Bills this year. Maybe next year. It's possible. I think it's possible, but that's not.
I don't know.
A realistic expectation is 11 or 12 wins. Probably one game out from the Bills.
11 or 12 wins in the AFC is big, though. I mean, this is a really competitive conference.
Yeah, but I think we 2-0 the Patriots. I think we 2-0 the Jets. I think we split with the Bills, right? So now we're 5-1.
You know, okay, if you had to bet like a best of 7 series between Dolphins Bills.
You
still think the Bills are better?
5-2 or 4-3. Yeah, I mean, I think we got to prove it, man. I think we have more talent, but I think we have to prove it.
I don't disagree. We don't know, right? I guess that's fair. I think we're a better team.
Doesn't always come together under a first-year head coach, right? You need to give it some time. There's just how much more patience does our team have to stay together with mediocrity, right? Like I don't know. I feel like we always keep people hanging on the edge of hope, but we never get it done, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. It's man, I think we're better than the Bills. Talent-wise, like on paper, I think we're better.
Talent-wise, it's not even arguable. We're definitely better on paper, but they already have an established room.
Josh Allen is going to have a down year, if I'm being honest. I think
I don't think so. I think nothing that we've seen says that. He balled the fuck out last year, man. He looked so good in the playoffs.
Sure, but I think teams are going to start to kind of figure them. I think teams in general, and this is why I think Miami is going to be kind of like a sleeper team for the foreseeable future, and that's because of Mike McDaniel's offense. I think the league goes through phases, right? We saw, like, you had the really old, like the perfect season Dolphins, right? Back then it was very run heavy. The running back was the centerpiece of the team. And then, as we went on, it evolved, and it became more quarterback centric, right? But it was still very run heavy, I think, even through the early 2000s and stuff. But we saw, like, in the 2010s to now, there's been a massive push for quarterbacks, and there's been a massive push for quarterbacks, and a massive push for cornerbacks, defensive linemen, safeties, right? Basically everything to stop quarterbacks. And what I think is going to happen in the NFL is there's going to be a paradigm shift in which every team is so well equipped to be a good quarterback, right? We're seeing more and more like great quarterbacks. Whenever we talk about quarterback power rankings, it's becoming more and more difficult. It used to be, it was like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, right? And then maybe Drew Brees, and then at the time maybe Aaron Rodgers. But now it's like, well, I don't know. Like, everybody, yeah, sure, you have Pat Mahomes and you have Josh Allen, but like Joe Burrow and the Chargers, Justin Herbert, right? Oh, he dropped his signal. He did say he had bad. You're back. Can you hear me? Oh, I need some water. I need water. Yeah, you're cutting out pretty bad, dude.
I'm at a hotel. I'm traveling right now.
Oh, rip. Well, yeah, like, basically what I'm getting at is that, like, the NFL is becoming so well equipped and so what's the word I'm looking for? Like specifically built to stop the quarterback, right? To the point where now these teams that are the defenses are built around stopping quarterbacks are less equipped or less well equipped to stop the running game. That's why I feel like the Titans are becoming such a competitive team, and why the 49ers are always a really competitive team without having an elite quarterback is because teams don't really care about stopping the run. Everybody's trying to stop Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Tom Brady. So I think there's going to be a paradigm shift where there's going to be a few teams like the Titans, like the 49ers, like now the Dolphins, that are going to be a really run-heavy team that work well with a quarterback that's very efficient, and it's going to expose a lot of defenses, because all these defenses are running like too high. You see it all the time, and that's how they're stopping Patrick Mahomes and everybody else. They're just getting the best cornerbacks in the league running too high and saying, "Okay, throw it, go ahead." But
you could also argue the teams that are doing that, like those innovative, air quotes, offenses, are doing that because they're building around the lack of a quarterback. Quarterback is still the most proven,
Sure.
But that's why we're better than the Bills in so many areas, but it's glaringly how much better they are at us at quarterback. Right?
Absolutely, I don't disagree.
Their front line's better. Our receivers are better. Their quarterback's better. Our running backs are better. Our DBs are better. Their front seven's better. It's kind of an even split, but they're so much better at QB that's the X factor, right, to me.
Yeah. Well, I think like head to head, you've probably got a case to make, right? But I think the overarching thing, and this is just a hypothesis, right? This could be totally faulty, but I think, again, we're going to probably be going through another paradigm shift soon where, I think really run heavy teams with a talented running back are going to start to become much more competitive. The biggest downside with that, right? and it's probably the one thing that is holding this back, right, is that running backs are so often injured, and it's not a position where you have longevity at like you do at quarterback, right? So that would probably be the one thing that would stymie it. But it just seems odd. Again, I'm starting to see the trend with the Titans. You're starting to see the trend with the 49ers, who've been competitive for years now, right? With not mediocre, average to slightly above average quarterback play. And I think the big thing is just consistency. I think this is the biggest thing that Miami's lacked. I think we probably could have kept one of these other coaches and been successful. It's just we lack consistency and the turnover year after year. I don't know. Just my thoughts. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully
we
it
all
comes
have
true.
opinions. I don't know how it's gonna pan out, but I'm cautiously
None of us
optimistic.
do.
But I'm the same way every fucking year. As I'm cautiously optimistic.
I know. It's so I want to be excited. I want to be really, really excited because I really like what McDaniel has done. I've never, like, we can agree, right? There's never been a front office head coach that have done what McDaniel and Greer have done this offseason. Never. Like, the closest we had was like the year we went out and got Sue, and like that was it. We just got Sue.
Yeah, that was kind of a stupid move, though.
Right, and it was a terrible move. It was an absolutely awful move. I mean, he was okay while he was here, but I mean, it didn't move the needle for us at all.
No, it was not. Sue is somebody you get when you're like a piece away. He was not the piece that we
exactly.
were.
Sue is great in Tampa Bay with Tom Brady and everybody else that's on there that team. But I don't. I want. My heart says that like this is a Super Bowl team, right? Because we have. I do think we have a great defense, right? The defense is unchanged.
Defense is elite,
right?
Top 5.
So we're unchanged at defense. So
the linebackers are super fucking suspect, but if we can get average play out of the linebackers, we're top 5.
Well, so another interesting thing that we saw, this linebacker that I forget his name already.
Reuben
Foster is it's intriguing, right? I don't know if he's potentially great or he's potentially trash, but if we do land him, he's going to come at a discount. And there's serious potential there. He's got massive upside. He's fresh, right? He's been out of the league. So he's not like your typical 28-year-old linebacker. You know, he's got the legs of maybe a 24-year-old linebacker because he just hasn't played.
Reuben Foster was really good.
He's really good. And there's fans that are dookie, like they're pooping on it like, oh, he's bad. He's been out of the league. Look at his stats.
This is how you get value in the NFL, man.
Exactly. You got to find these gems, right? We went out and we made the big sexy splash plays, right? You can't, like, everybody still thinks we're going after Debo. I would love Debo Samuel. Debo Samuel has never had, he wants to get paid like quarterback money.
He wants wide receiver. Like he wants Tyreek's contract. We can't afford Tyreek's.
No, not at all. Not at all. And everybody's like, well, he wants to be with McDaniel. I'm like, no, he wants to get paid. He's using McDaniel as like a bargaining chip, right? Because he's here. And that's what everybody does with Miami, by the way, which is such shit. Like we always get used as the bargaining chip. Jim Harbaugh did that too. He did it to us, when he was going to Michigan or like. Debo's not leaving. He's going to get his money in San Francisco. They're not going to.
I'd rather have McDaniel than Harbaugh. I'm very glad that didn't happen.
Mine 1 and 2 was Harbaugh, McDaniel. Honestly,
I liked the ball too. He would have been good. I would have been okay with.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why I
like McDaniel more.
Is it DeBall or Dable?
Dable, whatever.
Whatever. Okay, I always say Dable. I didn't like Dable because the guy's been in the league forever and he's done nothing until he got Josh Allen. Let's be fair.
Well, the only one I really, really, really didn't want was fucking Kellen Moore.
Nobody wanted Kellen Moore. I initially I was like, oh, okay, let's go get Brian Dable. But when you really look at the resume, right? He's never been successful anywhere except with the Bills. He was already He was already in our building, and we let him go. So it's like, well, what changed? I don't think anything changed. I think what changed is that he landed Josh Allen, and this always happens, right? With coaches, this is the Adam Gase effect, right? When he played, he coached.
We don't say that word here.
the dude coached Peyton Manning for a year, and he coached Jay Cutler, and Jay Cutler had a pretty good year, and now he was the QB whisperer. I remember everybody saying, "Oh, he's a QB whisperer. He made Jay Cutler great," and look, they won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. It's like, dude, Peyton Manning was a Hall of Famer before he ever touched a football with Adam Gase, and Jay Cutler's Dookie. So having one good season as Jay Cutler, congrats, you've done the bare minimum. But I think, again, this is when I saw Brian Daboll being talked about, my first instinct gut reaction was, this is Adam Gase 2.0, that he's just getting all the praise for a really great quarterback. I don't think that Daboll is responsible for Josh Allen's success. I think Josh Allen is just a talented quarterback.
Allen's really fucking good.
Yeah, he's good. He's just really good. I think he's gonna have a setback, right? Because we haven't seen him. We've seen him like continue to be really good every year. The same thing with Patrick Mahomes, right? Last year, Patrick Mahomes had kind of a down year, which is still a great year, right? Any quarterback that has a Patrick Mahomes year last year, it's like a career year. But for him, it was a bad year. I think he's due for like a little bit of a setback, like a little bit of a bad year. You can't just continue to be amazing. And I think it's the same thing with Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert's going to look kind of dookie. Because now, similar to Tua, right? Now they're going to say there's no excuses for Justin Herbert. If you don't make the playoffs, then there's something wrong. Like you can't talk about guys being elite and not in the playoffs for 3 years in a row. So I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Herbert that he hasn't had up until now, because he's just been really good. And I think the same thing is going to be true for Josh Allen. It's like, okay, Josh Allen, it's been, a couple of years now, and we haven't gotten over that hump, that playoff hump, right? I think for the Bills, it's like Super Bowl or bust. So I think, and up until now, he hasn't had that same kind of pressure. So pressure, like the mental aspect of the game, doesn't get talked about nearly enough. And I think it's one of the biggest reasons why Tua actually struggles. It's 99% mental. I don't think much of it really has to do with his physical drawbacks. Like everybody wants to talk about how he can't throw the ball deep, or he doesn't throw the ball hard enough, or whatever. I think it has nothing to do with that. I think it's all mental with this kid. The biggest reason why, again, I didn't want Teddy Bridgewater in Miami, it's because we need a distraction-free, coddle Tua, make him feel loved, make him feel like the poster boy of the Miami Dolphins, right? Like, quarterbacks are different than any other position, because people will say, well, you don't treat other people that way. I'm like, well, other people aren't the quarterback, right? This is, like we just talked about, this is the most important position on the team. You've got to make this person feel like they're the guy, like they're safe, that they're because the quarterback position is such a mentally strenuous position. And I have seen Tua, like when he makes mistakes, he comes back from them, right? He makes good decisions after he throws interceptions. But it's like all the off the field stuff, right? I think Brian Flores didn't like Tua. I think he made it known that he didn't really care for Tua. And that's, on a quarterback, dude, that's tough. I don't know.
Definitely didn't support Tua at all.
No. And the other the other big mental aspect, right, is that offensive line getting beat up, or not really getting beat up because he got rid of the ball so quickly most of the time, but dude, like imagine getting obliterated week 2 against the Bills, and then like having to go back and stand behind Jesse Davis again, and just watch him let guys blow past him on every single play. It's gonna fuck with your brain, and that's the thing. Again, like this is the issue I've had with TD, and I've talked to him about this, but he keeps like harping on it. He's like, well, Tua sucks once he gets past his first read. And where we have difference in mentality, because yes, we can agree he's after he gets past his first read, he struggles. But the thing is, people like TD Finstock and some of the other guys on Twitter, they'll say, well, it's because he can't read defenses and he can't find the guy open and he leaves guys open. And I don't think that's the case. I think it's just once his first read is taken away, Tua says, oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm on a timer.
Shit. I
got a second and a half or I'm going to get killed.
Exactly. Oh shit, I gotta get rid of this ball. My first read's not there. He probably looks to the first guy he sees and just chucks it because he's terrified of getting blown up behind the line of scrimmage.
But that's what McDaniels does, is he's going to design plays where it really isn't only a one-read play, right? Like exactly. You design the player open, right?
Yeah. I think...
You've heard of quarterbacks throwing players open, coaches draw players open. That's what you use for a Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They can create separation at the line. Right, that's literally what McDaniels is going to do, and then you build confidence in your quarterback, and he improves, and so on and so forth.
100%, dude. It's going to be interesting. What I'm kind of looking forward to the most this season is just to see it all come together, if it comes together, because on paper we look great, right? We look like I haven't checked it. I should probably do it. Just go in Madden and see what like the overall rating is. I'd imagine we're a team that we're in the high 80s. Like we're again in a Madden rating, we're probably a top 10 team. But
depends on how they value certain players, right? Armstead's been hurt a lot. Connor Williams probably won't be rated very high. Jalen Waddle, what is he good after that rookie year? Right?
Yeah, well, Jalen Waddle's probably going to be like an 89 or 90 plus guy in Madden, I would imagine.
I would hope, but you don't know how they're going to rate a second
year
player. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean, he set the rookie record for receptions. I mean, look, his speed is going to be in the high 90s. Because he was the fastest wide receiver behind Tyreek Hill in the league. And I think Tyreek Hill has 99 overall speed. He was the fastest guy in the league. He's going to have 98 overall speed. He's going to have 90 plus catch, right? Because he brought in so many catches. So he's going to, I think he's going to be rated pretty high. And Madden's a big speed game, right? You like speed kills in Madden. But all that aside, on paper, sure, we probably look great. I bet if you run through Madden with the team we got now, you're probably like a 13 or 14 win team. But can the coaches put it together? And it seems like initially signs are pointing towards that, right? Like we're hearing reports that the energy is different in the building and guys are coming in happy and that's such an underrated thing. Like, you know, us, we have regular jobs, right? And it's the worst feeling in the world going into a job that you hate. You know, you go in, you have a boss.
The difference is, do we believe it? I mean, I believe it personally this time, but like I heard a lot of good things around it. Joe Philbin, and a lot of previous people loved playing for fucking Dan Campbell when he would step in.
Oh yeah, I love Dan Campbell. If he didn't become a head coach with Detroit, I would have loved to see him stay in Miami. He's just he's a player's coach, right?
We cut him. Yeah, we cut him. He left
for sure.
To become a
well, he went to Dallas right after he left Miami.
I think he went to Dallas and then he went to Detroit as a specialty coach and then took over. Same thing,
right?
In interim, and then they gave him a contract.
Yeah, I mean he's a great guy. You saw the report that he did an interview. He's talking about a dude coming in smelling like beer, like alcohol, I should say.
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, so apparently he did an interview, and he was talking about, you know, coaching, how do you coach different guys or whatever. And he said in his time in Miami, there was one guy that came in every day reeking of alcohol. So everybody's talking about, like, who is it, dude? Like, who do you think it is? My guess, I really think it was Richie Incognito. Because he also said one guy who came in smelling like alcohol all the time was... he loved football. Like he came in, he was the hardest worker. Like he killed it when he came in, but he just reeked of alcohol every time he came in. I think it was Rich. I think it was incognito.
He would get fucked up every night.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Fucking incognito. He gave us such a bad rap, man.
Is he still? He's still in the league, isn't he? Or did he just retire?
He was on Raiders for a while. I don't know what happened after that. I didn't follow him after that. But I know he went to the Raiders, and I was like, of course, the Raiders will take anybody's fucking backwash.
Yeah, well, that's where football careers go to die.
I think Devontae Adams to the Raiders and the Raiders in general right now are so overhyped. But
well, I mean, you could say that about the Dolphins too, a little bit. No.
We have like a defense that, like, if you have an elite defense, you're already in any conversation. The Raiders punched way above their ceiling. Like they had the season of a lifetime for their talent level last year. Yeah. I do not see this team competing in that division. Okay, it's just so fucking good.
So here's the kicker. Would you take Tua or would you take Derek Carr?
Derek Carr. I mean, like right now, for future, like forever. If I was building a franchise, I would take Tua. But like
on the potential level.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I'm interested to see.
Got to win the Super Bowl next year. Yeah. They're gonna take Carr.
I'm interested to see if McDaniels can finally have success outside of New England, because if he can make that whatever New England magic thing work outside of New England, which no coach has been able to, let's be honest, not a single coach has been able to recreate what New England has. But I think if there was one coach that could do it, I think it's McDaniel, because he's tried and failed. And because he has that past experience, I think he's going to use his failures to kind of propel himself to the next level with the Raiders. And I think Bill Belichick's probably given him a little bit more advice than he probably did before his first try with Denver. Because I think Bill Belichick's thinking, like, how many more years does Bill Belichick have in the league, realistically? Like, another 10 years maybe?
Not many. I don't even think he has 10. Not even.
Yeah, I mean, 10 years is probably max, right? So he probably doesn't care at this point. He's like, oh, yeah, McDaniel, here's some of the tips, right? Here's how you do it. Because I think we all know Bill Belichick doesn't tell his assistant coaches much, because they always end up leaving and getting jobs elsewhere. But I think now at this point, he probably gave all his secrets up to McDaniels so he can go be successful somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. I think.
I don't know. I just think it's a very hard to replicate system. They don't have his mind, and no matter how much you can try to work with somebody, they're never going to think the way that you do precisely.
You're
right? And there's a lot of allure. Like, players buy into him because of his resume, but he's a very old school coach. These new school players, without the resume, they're not going to buy into you that quickly. You got a small window. If you're going to be a prick, you got 1 to 2 years max to win these guys over, and then you're going to be yesterday's news.
That's true, dude. Like, what do you think it is? Like, because you look at some other coaching trees, right? You look at like the Andy Reid coaching tree, and you look at like the Parcells coaching tree, right? These coaches that created all of these disciples, if you want to call them, that went on to be so successful. But it's like Bill Belichick's disciples they're all failures, right? They've failed every place they've gone. You could maybe make the excuse that Brian Flores hasn't gotten the shot that he deserves to show whether or not he could be successful. I'd argue that he had 3 shots to build an offense and he failed 3 times. But what is it just because, like, does he just hold everything? Does he hold all the secrets, you think?
I think it's just hard to replicate. Like I said, he's a prick, right? So it's already hard to be that and be a leader for this generation of people. It's not really hard-nosed time anymore. And I think he's such a dominant personality that it's hard for people to replicate the way that he thinks. And I think I don't know if he meaningly does it, but I think he is combative and probably demeans people a little bit, right? So you don't get the same level of, like, I don't see Belichick sitting down and like really investing time in somebody's development. It's like
having a coffee.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, it is weird though. Like there have been some people that say they saw change after Tom Brady left. Like he was super friendly with with Cam Newton, and you see him like palling around with Mac Jones a little bit more. So he might be maybe changing his tune a little bit.
If he can make something out of Mac Jones, man, good for him. I don't think that's the kid. But.
Yeah, I feel like Mac Jones is a less interesting version of Tua.
Mac Jones is like.
I feel like you know what I mean by that.
Absolute ceiling is Kirk Cousins, man. Like
I don't know if that makes sense. It's like he's Tua, just less. I feel like he's a less good Tua.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, like
he's a little bit more of a deep ball, but we also don't know yet if we haven't seen Tua enough to know really if he has. We'll find out this year if his deep ball's there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've from the training videos that Perform has been putting out, it looks like he's got the torque back. I think Tua's big problems with throwing is a little bit of the hip, and last year it was definitely the ribs. I talked to a few guys who've had rib injuries, and they've said it didn't take like a year to get over it. Like they had their rib injuries like 10 plus years ago, and they still feel the pain from it once in a while, right? Like rib injuries are really weird. They just don't heal the same like other injuries. So the rib injury definitely negatively affected his throwing power. And the hip a little bit too, but the videos that Perform has been putting out on Twitter, I don't know if you've seen them. I mean, he threw that one like 70-yard bomb that everybody was dissecting. Looked really good. And then a couple days ago, he threw a 40-yard dart, and it looked like he barely even tried to throw it, and it was, you know, on the dime. I think he's going to show improvement this year, particularly with his arm strength and again, when you're throwing, people think it's just arm, right? It's your whole body, right? It's your hips, it's the torso. Like the body comes really from the legs up. So if there's anything that's out of whack in between, you know, your feet basically and your shoulders, it's gonna negatively affect your ability to throw the ball. I think he's going to improve significantly this year. I mean, I'm buying on Tua. I mean, like I collect cards, so I already had kind of a personal collection of some Tua stuff. But this offseason, after we hired McDaniel, I went and I bought a couple more cards. And then, I mean, already the cards have increased in value after we got Tyreek Hill and all the moves we've made, the Teron Armstead move, like his value, his card value, right? It's gone up a lot. And I think it's because everybody's kind of buying in now. And all the Perform video, every time Perform puts out a video, it actually kind of like bumps up the price on cards. It's interesting to see.
I feel like everybody's treating Tua like he's Baker fucking Mayfield, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, I think he's definitely due for, again, if he doesn't have a really great year this year, he's gone, right? Can we agree on that? Or you think he gets another year?
I still think he can have another year, even if this is a backup. I mean, his deal is so favorable, right? So.
Yeah, I don't know if you necessarily have to move on from him. I think they might move on from him because, you know, try to get what they can while they can, like the Jets did, right?
Even if he does go into that Baker Mayfield conversation, he's a much better locker room guy, right? Baker is going to have a hard time finding a home, where Tua is such a good locker room guy that he'll always have a place in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate anybody. For whatever reason, I just have a really strong distaste for Baker Mayfield.
I don't like Baker Mayfield.
I think that's like a generally kind of agreed upon. He's just not likable. He's just not likable.
No.
And
he's
I think
like Jay Cutler, but Jay Cutler was kind of likable.
Baker is like Jay Cutler, except he's like a vocal Jay Cutler. That's the difference, right? Jay Cutler would just go and sit on the sidelines and mope.
Yeah.
Baker will go sit on the sidelines and then tweet some dumb shit and then go make a commercial, and like he's literally just a vocal. It's so funny that you brought up Jay Cutler. He's just a vocal Jay Cutler. He's just very unlikable. Even Browns fans don't like him. Like, they like him because he's their quarterback, or he was their quarterback. But it's like, he's just.
I wouldn't. If the Dolphins got Baker Mayfield, like let's say we drafted him back in the day, I would have never bought into that guy.
He's got kind of like a punchable face, you know. That's so mean. I don't like to think negatively of people. I don't know who Baker Mayfield is. He may be the nicest guy on earth. He just has an unlikable personality, and kind of like his demeanor. Like, he thinks very highly of himself, and he's
Baker
not
Mayfield.
worth it.
I just hate everything about him.
I don't like hate him as a person. I just hate him as a human being. No, but you know, like, it's the same. It's like a lot of people dislike LeBron James for the same reasons that they dislike Baker. But LeBron James is good, right? He's elite. But I think a lot of people dislike LeBron James for kind of similar, like, just the way he carries himself, especially lately. I don't know. Like, people will call me a LeBron James hater because, I mean, when he left the Heat, he kind of broke my heart when he left the Heat, because I feel like if he would have stayed with the Heat, I mean, we probably would have had at least a couple more championships under our belt. But I don't know, man. It's just like he left. I felt like he used Miami in a sense. Like, he came here to learn from Spo and from Riley. He came here to like learn how to win a championship, and then he went back and used whatever he learned here to win a championship for Cleveland. And then when he was tired of living in Cleveland, he went to go live in LA, and now he sucks in LA. So congrats, LeBron. You played yourself. I think he could have had, I think he totally could have had like a much better career if he had just stayed in Miami, honestly. I think he would have become beloved in Miami.
He didn't want to be any team. He wanted to be bigger than every team. That's
exactly. Well, he's always like chasing the Jordan debate, right? He always wants to, he's like, and I think that's why I always loved Kobe Bryant, is because like fans always talked about it, but it never seemed to really faze Kobe when they would talk about, like, you know, him,
Kobe's my guy,
and Michael Jordan, right? Kobe just
Laker fan, man.
Dude, Kobe, I hate the Lakers, right? But I've always had a special appreciation for Kobe Bryant because he just goes out and he just would play. He just, and that's, you wouldn't see him do like the stuff that LeBron does when he flops and he cries and he's like yelling at refs. Like, it just, again, LeBron is very unlike, the way that he portrays himself on the court is just so unlikable. And it's the reason why people like, oh, you know, these guys would never last in the NBA in the 90s and the 80s, and it's like, it's because LeBron. It's because of the way he acts. Because the best player in the world currently acts like a baby. That's just me. I just unlike, I want to like LeBron, right? Like, you want to like the best player in every sport. Like, it's just, he's just so unlikable. Like Patrick Mahomes, right? It's really hard to dislike Patrick Mahomes.
And that's why everybody loves Patrick Mahomes. If you want to dislike him, you just look at his brother and his wife.
Exactly. That's what, they can't even pick on him. They have to pick on his brother and his wife, literally. But then you look at, like, again, then you had Tom Brady. Everybody hates Tom Brady, and it's not because Tom Brady's great. It's because Tom Brady, again, is another guy that's very dislikable, like unlikable on the field. You know, when he loses, he walks off the field. He doesn't shake the hands of the opponents. Like, Tom Brady's another one that's very unlikable. The only fans of Tom Brady are Patriots fans. Some of them are still upset about not getting mentioned in his retirement speech. And Buccaneers fans. Those are the only people that like Tom Brady. But then you have a guy like Dwayne Wade, right? Dwayne Wade is almost unanimously loved around the country, right? Because he's super likable. Anyway, this is like
awesome.
I'm just glad we're not in the Baker Mayfield sweepstakes, right? Because
Hell no.
A year later, like
Rams jersey or something.
If we were like in year 3 of Tua and ready to move on from Tua, you damn well know Baker would have been in Miami. You know he would have been in Miami.
I would off myself.
Oh my gosh, dude. It would be... I don't even want to think... No, I got to stop. I don't even want to think about it. I'm getting upset thinking about it. So, I'm curious to get your thoughts on something here.
All right, I'm going to go to bed after that, but go ahead, hit me.
Sounds good. So, what is your... Let me think of how to word this right. What is your thoughts on if this season fails? Like, let's say we end up an 8-win team or a 9-win team. That's a failure, right? In your eyes?
That's a massive failure.
Okay, all right. So 8 or 9 wins. What happens? Does McDaniel get another year?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Tua's gone or otherwise benched. Teddy Bridgewater's gone because they got to get a real replacement for Tua. We blow up the defense, trade Byron Jones, trade Brandon Jones, keep Javon Holland, keep X. Probably cut one of our front 4, invest in the linebacker.
Christian Wilkins is gone, right? You don't worry about keeping him around.
Yeah, Wilkins is gone, or Ogba, right? One of them. And then they got to reinvest in the front line via the draft. I mean, there's not a ton we can do, right? We still don't have a marquee running back. If you want to keep looking for reasons why, we got to get to let's get a fucking running back for once, instead of trying to save there all the time. But yeah, I mean they got to blow it up in key places to get the money back to make the changes they want to make, right? And we have a decent secondary, even if you take Byron Jones away. You throw in Nick Needham or something, and our secondary is still solid. Javon Holland's a fucking stud. Brandon Jones is pretty good. I actually like him. I don't mind Brandon Jones one bit.
Noah Igbinoghene.
I need to see more from him before I want to put my...
We have no idea what he is. Literally, we have no idea.
He could be the best ever. He could be bagging groceries next year. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I honestly think...
Minka was great.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I think if we're an 8-win team, I think they fire McDaniel, honestly. I think Ross is desperate. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they fire McDaniel and replace him with Harbaugh.
It's not trash. I don't know. I'm not a Harbaugh guy.
I would, again, I think Stephen Ross is so, and I'll let you go after this. I think Stephen Ross is so anxious to win a Super Bowl, right? He's getting older. The NFL is going to come down hard, I think, on him. So it's a good thing we're trading all these draft picks because we're not going to have them otherwise.
Because we're going to get sanctioned anyway.
Exactly. I think Ross his patience is waning. And I think he's going to start doing some real wild shit if we don't start winning right away. Just my 2 cents, but you're probably...
It depends on what McDaniels can convince Stephen Ross that he needs, right? Yeah. It's like, I couldn't do it because why, right? I need to clear out all these old Flores guys because they're bad culture fits. We didn't, the Patriots defense scheme didn't work. Like, what is he going to pin it on that gets Ross to continue to buy into him? Because those are the changes they'll make, right? And if he's going to pin it on something, he's going to pin it on a hole. And the holes are, we all know, the right side of the line, inside linebackers, basically the whole linebacking core.
Could be.
Special teams is solid. But
you have to think, though, like, if we fail that hard, some of it's got to fall on coaching, though.
Absolutely. Or it's all on Tua, and they're just going to fucking...
Or that, right? Or Tua is just garbage, right? I don't think Tua is garbage. I don't think he's going to be garbage.
But that's the narrative, right? You need a martyr. Every tragedy needs a scapegoat.
True. Yeah, and it'll be easy for McDaniel because he didn't draft Tua, and he did say he wouldn't lock his abilities. But anyway, bro, I appreciate you for...
I tried.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate you for coming and hanging out and chopping it up, dude.
For sure, brother. Take it easy. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, fins up. Take care. Fins up, buddy. All right. Good talk. Good talk. Listen, if you're not in the Dolphins Discord, then where are you, dude? Look, I mean, we're in here. We're having great... Look, my beautiful face, because we're streaming. Come join the Discord. The link is always in the description. We have some laughs. We cry together. Okay, we don't cry together. That's a lie. But anyways, great talk. Probably gonna head out here. Let me just check really quick if the Finn's Tailgate guys are on. I might hop over there. Steal content. Is that nah? Let me see. Okay, so he is live, but I don't think they have a panel going on. Colors on. Colors on. Let's see if they're gonna do a panel. Anyway, some good talks, dude. This is a big year for the Dolphins. However you look at it. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna do a panel in a little bit. So I might hop over there. Deebo Samuel. They're talking about Deebo Samuels. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up.
That he wants to stay here, or is it time to move off of him? And
Right.
if they fuck around and keep him on his contract, they tried to bluff Chris Greer, and really what happened is they bluffed themselves into a
Pull my boy Chris up on
You
here.
know what I'm saying? They kind of fucked up, because if he plays this year or doesn't play this year or whatever, and he finds himself going to free agency, we can get the guy with no fucking trade. They messed up good, so maybe they'll come down significantly on their asking price, because now he's...
They're talking about Deebo
Wants
to
his-
Miami.
Like I said, they made the mistake of thinking that
I
Chris
don't
Greer
think
actually makes his decision.
There's no,
based on
I can't. There's no way that I can
Dolphins
see
Twitter,
us
you
going
know what I
after
mean? And he
after
doesn't.
Deebo. It just doesn't make
just got-
sense.
I think they just got
Yo, we got a
little bit
video
of
section here. We got
perspective
Chris
greediness.
watching a
It's like, they're like,
video.
well, one of those draft picks is our draft pick.
yeah,
anyhow.
and I'm just using
Commenting on a
Dolphins
video.
Twitter as a
Me
placeholder for
commenting
on
fans
Chris
screen for
commenting on a
players
video.
that really aren't worth top money. You know what I mean?
It's a video
or maybe
section.
not in our situation.
Or to overdraft them. I know what you
Right,
mean.
right.
Yeah.
So
Like
I think
getting
I
a
might
punter
hop on
in
the
the
panel with
second
the
round.
boys over here in a
Yes,
second.
Exactly. Some of
Set
it's
the record
hyperbolic.
straight. There's no way
Right,
Deebo's coming to
right,
Miami.
right.
It's not
Get him
happening.
at
I
all
know,
costs.
that's what I'm
It's like,
saying.
I can't
bro,
imagine.
That's what I'm saying. The
I can't
49ers
imagine the
might have
cost.
misread the hyperbole.
Yeah, they might have misread it a little bit.
Offseason. In the same offseason, if you beat a guy, it's going to be by a hair, right?
No, I'm telling you, it's gonna be okay. So who just signed? Tyreek signed,
Stephon Diggs.
and then Stephon Diggs. No, I'm sorry, Devontae Adams signed.
Yeah.
And Devontae's guaranteed money was 67, 68 million, somewhere in that range. I don't know the exact number, but it's close.
I can't
Yeah,
believe we're
we
still
started
talking about
slow
Deebo. We're still
down.
talking. There's still guys still talking about.
We're about to get the entire resume of one man.
They're still talking about Tom Brady
Oh,
to the
yeah.
Dolphins, which makes no sense
I
to
don't
me,
need
guys.
it.
Not Chris, but
Jump over
there's
that.
talk in the Twitter
I get
sphere
it.
and
Kick the
everything.
shit
It's
out of
just
football.
Jump over it.
makes no
It's
sense.
all
Could he
right.
come as an owner? Maybe. I think so.
Now
I think he
you
wants
come,
to be a
Deebo
part
Samuel
owner
comes
of
up, he goes, well, if you
of
gave
the
me 70,
Dolphins,
I need
which I'm
70.
in. I'd buy.
So what's
I'd
he
buy
gonna
that.
get, 68, 71?
That's all within
It
the
seems like he
same
really
size.
wants to get back
So
at
he's gonna
get his money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
at,
He's gonna get his money, but you
Okay.
can't go
Bill
and get
Belichick
somebody
and
eight.
Robert Kraft, whatever. I think he just hates those guys. There's no other explanation for it.
So you can hit that next tier.
Yeah.
You hit the mark, but you come in higher.
Funny thing is,
Yeah, we learned that in elementary school. Shoot for A's
Yeah,
and guarantee yourselves B's and C's.
Yeah, I say go get an A no matter what.
Of course. But again,
but-
if you're shooting for B's, you're going to get F's.
Yeah, nobody shoots for second. You know what I'm saying? But
If you ain't first, you last.
you know, from what I was being told, is that Debo and the
I
Niners
wonder.
talks disintegrated.
Oh, I wonder.
weeks before this.
Hoobadoo-boo-boo.
Now, I mean, he kind of has leverage on his side. The Niners are going to have to pull the trigger one way or another, or Are they gonna force this guy to play under his contract, which is not unheard of? But I mean, shit. Players are willing to do some things, you know. Maybe like again, that elective surgery comes up. He figures out, whatever. I'll just wait. Maybe take less money just to get out. Maybe he feels wronged. We've seen that happen before too. If he feels wronged by the organization, they don't take care of him or don't allow him to go to the team that he wants or something like that. There's ways of getting even. Usually it takes a whole year, but players have done this before.
You hear guys about,
I mean, it's an interesting take. I don't know, dude. It just seems so far-fetched.
Your position market, right? Like, because you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. There's X number of that. There is a cap, a hard cap in the NFL. So there's this much money to go around. And if you push it up, it doesn't push the owners. It pushes other positions.
Jay, that's the exact leverage he's got.
What position is he? He's kind of his own position.
So it's a leverage.
And he's going to get paid because the money he's getting guaranteed is guaranteed. Yeah, he might not get the bonuses or something like that. But Jay, what if he goes and plays on this year and gets injured and the Niners don't sign him at all and it hurts everything? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a marquee players.
I think he's playing. I think he's playing the 49ers.
He's
gonna stay there.
They can get more money.
He's using all this other stuff just to get a better deal.
Where the next year has no guarantees. If you don't trust me enough to give me money that I know next year, not this year, is the following year is taken care of. There's no security.
You know how much
there.
happens in a year. I mean,
yeah,
geez, man. Yellowstone could erupt from now till then. I mean,
really,
come on,
Kelly?
get your money. You know
Yellowstone
what I mean?
could erupt, guys. It's the end of the world.
Whatever the case is, he's not coming here. We'll see, I guess. We'll see.
Well, we'd be the only ones to pay him the money.
I don't know. I mean, the Niners might figure it out. I think this also could, again, the pressure's on the Niners to do something. They've got a disgruntled playmaker that they rode all the way to the fucking, to the top, damn near. This guy was everything in their offense.
He probably didn't even want to be playing.
No,
realistic. We talked about it earlier,
dude,
right?
I mean, literally, the Niners.
He wants Tyreek Hill money.
It's get the ball to Debo in different ways, get it out to the other guys, but try to find creative ways to get it to Debo because we're gonna ride this guy to the Super Bowl. It's not happening. And now they're not gonna give him more money. They let go of his favorite coach. He wanted to go with his favorite coach to Miami. He was all jacked up about it, and then they because of their bad dealings with the Dolphins, they've allowed Tyreek Hill to take his position on the Dolphins team. Perspective by him. Just saying.
Yeah,
you know?
Debo. I think Debo was the pick.
If he gets his money, and then Yellowstone
I think Debo was
gonna
come to Miami over Hill.
But
and
what if he
49ers dragged their feet and they moved on?
5 days later, at least he got 5 days with his money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you still got to get your money, dog. It's more of he blows his knee out and misses all year because he got really badly injured or something like that.
That's what I mean.
Risk. It's a risk every time these guys go on the field too.
Yeah.
Even if you don't look at him as
They'll get him. They'll pay him. They'll get him his money. I think they're waiting probably to move Jimmy Garoppolo. Ultimately, the idea is to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and then probably pay Debo.
In this past season, it was 1,400 yards. I kind of messed it up.
Yeah,
Not
you
his
did. You
rookie
screwed that
season,
up.
This season, 1,400. So when you coming off a 1,400-yard season, he thinks, okay, I'm balling. I need to get this money, which he has elevated his game. But they're not looking at him as a top-flight receiver. So therefore, he's not gonna get top-flight money.
If you're running out of the backfield too, they may like a lot of.
Yeah, I don't know. They keep talking about like TV deal money next year. He wants to get paid this year, man.
Going to be excellent because they can
He's not gonna take a pay cut for 1 year.
The Niners playmakers.
That was weird.
They also believe.
Why does it keep cutting
that
out?
Ayuk and someone else
that was weird
can take the snaps that they gave to
Okay,
Debo. I think
got
they're
it.
sadly mistaken in some of those ways, but they believe in that system. And Whether he comes here, there's chances he ain't gonna be on the Niners. And even if not, if they don't sign him this year,
They're gonna
the
pay
Niners,
him.
and they're at week 1 and they're under
gonna get paid.
negotiations per se. I don't think he's a Niner the following year.
That's the bonus, right?
Yeah.
If they feel you're a physical runner or you're like a running back in certain ways, that takes a few years off in their minds, and they probably knock the number down a little bit.
But wait,
Probably.
But he should. Go ahead, Jay.
Did you say that he's not going to get top flight wide receiver money?
Meaning that he's not going to leapfrog.
He's not going to
set the
leapfrog. Okay.
No, he's not going to leapfrog.
You're not going to
But
reset the market.
But DK Metcalf is going to reset the market?
No, DK Metcalf will fall. He'll fall probably in that same area too, a couple $1 million more. So, but they're not willing to
But
take
see, that's crazy to
Debo
me.
up
I
more.
would value Debo more than I would value DK Metcalf. If you're
Now, honestly, I think I would
I don't
value
know.
DK over Debo.
Yeah, I
Personally,
agree.
for me.
100%.
Yeah, but that man's looking at fantasy results like I am. Debo was a consistent 25 points a week, man.
Either way,
DK's the better wide
they're
receiver.
fucking neck and neck, the two.
Sure,
it's
yeah.
really they're both
Well, I guess
just
what I
as
mean
good.
is-
It's just preference.
What I mean is when you
It's definitely close. Like you could flip a coin. I think DK has a slight edge over Debo. It's just they're different wide receivers, right? They don't play the same type of game, but I think you'd give the nod to DK. DK's probably the best wide receiver in the game right now, behind Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill.
In football, baseball, and basketball complaining they're not getting paid enough when they're normal people out here working paycheck to paycheck. Listen, Anthony,
That's a bad take.
no offense to anyone working paycheck to paycheck or anything like that. But really in this world, you got to take shit. You got to know your worth, and you should always want more than what you're getting. That's how you get more. When you sit and settle and this is paycheck to my paycheck and stuff like that, you got to take what's yours in some ways, as humbly as you can.
Yeah,
But you got to fight. Can't lay down and take nothing ever.
Yeah.
Always fight. So I
Get your
hear what
money,
you're
dude.
saying.
That's-
It's
Again, these guys, these football players have
what's
such
the word
a
I'm looking for.
they have such a short time span to get their money, and it's we talk about like just take a $5 million pay cut, right? We're talking about other people's money, right? If somebody's telling you you could have $5 million more or $5 million less, think about it that way. I mean, these are human beings making these decisions, right? And the money that they're going to get now is, unless you're like a Michael Jordan, right? This is going to be more money that you're going to make right now than these guys probably will ever make the rest of their life. You've got to get paid. That's why I don't ever fault anybody for going and getting their money. Never, because it's cutthroat, dude. Because these teams will cut you just as quick as they'll sign you.
But always strive to be the greatest of all the time, and that's what these guys are doing. And if I'm playing for a team and I put up 1,500 all-purpose yards, and I was their whole weapon on offense, and everything me. Obviously, I'm the shit over there. Everybody already know. Then they need to pay the guy, and they're not. I could see why he's disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you be disgruntled? You overperformed for the money you've been paid up to this point.
and out of position too.
Out of position, you didn't. You did. The position was this: I'll do whatever you ask me as a good soldier, and you're not
Exactly.
gonna fucking take care of me on the back end.
Yeah.
I can see why he's upset.
That's why players don't do that.
That's exactly why players don't do it.
That's
Color.
why this punter everybody's talking about isn't going to be running down the field smacking people in the mouth because they ain't going to pay him any extra to do that.
Round and round we go. Let's finish this up.
franchise, like I would
Depending
look
on
at
what you
Debo
need.
because of all the things that he does.
Depends on what you need.
But then,
It all
I'm
depends
even
on what
addressing
you
what
need,
Key was talking about the other day about decaf, about sometimes
Decaf.
yeah,
Decaf.
the empty calories to a degree, right?
I need some
certain-
coffee. Now I need some coffee. Talking about decaf. I gotta get some coffee, dude.
Well, he's the third partner with Kareem and Sugar, man.
Kareem and sugar and
Kareem
decaf.
and sugar. Let's go. That's fucking
man,
awesome.
dude, they'll be killing it.
I think we're gonna
Color,
hop
I'm
in
gonna
the
Debo's
drop-
going to open up the franchise coffee shop in
Give me a second
Seattle.
here. I'm
That's
gonna
be
hop
called
in the
Decaf.
link with the
Color, I'm gonna
boys
drop the
over
link
there.
here in just a second, but well, can you hold it down for just a second?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm spamming like, let me in, boys.
So, the baseballers are even worse. I
They're
mean, they
gonna-
don't even do a job. But
The baseballer. Yeah, they're gonna
as far
drop
as
the link in just
the
a
football
second
players
here
go,
to go. So we'll go on the panel with the guys over the Fins tailgate. Give me the link. Yeah, they're waiting. Just had to step away. Anyways, so some interesting shakes. Man, should I run and get coffee? Debo. You can listen to the sweet sounds
Really
of
play 'em
color
around here too much.
commentary.
I'm back.
Oh,
No
he's
more
back.
dead air around here.
I know, man. I had a thought, and it was going to be a good one, but it totally escaped
Alright.
me, and then I didn't have nothing to follow.
All right, let's hop in. Let's hop in, boys. What's good? I just saw.
Thursday nights, late night color commentary. Every other night of the
All right,
week, you guys
hold
can
on.
catch the
I
Fins
lost my screen.
tailgate with old El Capitan. Help support the channel with Cash
Hold on.
App, Venmo,
Hold
the
on.
Fins tailgate. You can also
What's
support
good?
the
I can't
show
see your name. I
through
don't know who you are.
Super Chat. You can support the show by
don't know
buying
who
your
said
gear
what's up.
from
I
Fanatics.
just saw the
hitting
message.
link in the description below.
I had the
You
Twitch,
can also
the
purchase
Twitch
some
chat.
of our gear to support the show.
What's good?
And make sure,
Let me
guys,
see if I can get
that
the
you're
web
getting
overlay.
in on the Fanatics giveaway and that you guys are coming over from Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, subscribing on YouTube, hitting the like, and getting in the
All right,
comments.
we're about to
and
hop
putting
in.
Hashtag TFTG
Are you ready?
in the comment
gonna
section
let 'em
for
have it.
your chance to win a free Dolphins jersey. And we're going to let you guys decide which one you want. Right
So
now,
I
we
remember
have,
now. It was
we have
about
53 entries right now, Color.
right on. It was about competitiveness in athletes, and none other more competitive than one Michael Jordan. And I was thinking, he's so competitive
There we go.
that you could beat. I figured out a way you could beat him at his game.
How?
I figured out a way you could do it. What would happen if you were to bet Michael Jordan that he could not give you all of his money?
We're in. We snuck in.
I mean, from what I understand, Michael Jordan will never
I don't
turn down a
understand.
bet. Like, he will never balk a bet. He's that competitive. So if you were to bet him that he couldn't give you all his money, would his head explode? Would steam start coming out of his ears or something? And cogs and
If a
and
tree
springs
falls
and
in the
stuff will start
forest, does it make a
busting
sound?
out.
Well put, Drupatron. Is that how this really is going to work?
Well, no, it doesn't, Drew Batron. It creates the superposition of a sound wave that never actually manifests.
Color, stop using big words.
Yeah, I'm confused, Color.
Supposition these nuts, okay?
The superposition, the position is never realized because there's not a receiver of the sound wave. So in effect, the sound wave never actually happened.
Well,
Or it
Trees
happened-
never make a sound
It happened
regardless.
everywhere. It happened everywhere and at all times.
It happened, and it both happened and didn't. It's Schrodinger's tree.
Exactly. Schrodinger's cat.
tree.
You're nailing it. You're getting there.
Let's
there
go.
you go. There you go. I'm letting everybody. I'm bringing everybody in quick.
It's a party up in here, dude.
See,
Oh,
we're here on the Fins tailgate, educating and creating
Yeah.
content.
Hey, Chris,
Let's
can I
go.
explain why I said that earlier? real
Oh
quick?
yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Just let me know in the comments section if you want me to start a quantum physics channel.
Hey, let's do it, Color. Let's do it, man. That's
Rick,
my
sorry,
jam.
John.
All right, what were you gonna say, Tony? Go ahead, buddy.
Okay, the reason why I said that, I'm thinking like most regular fans are thinking. Like most regular fans are getting annoyed that these super high-paid athletes are complaining that they're like these, even like these guys who are getting paid $300 million are complaining that they're not getting paid enough. That's why the lockout happened in what is it called, in baseball. And fans,
there was a lot more to the
So
picture
Tony,
than
so
just
Tony,
that.
I'll answer it with this.
Yeah.
Usually, when people say, "Oh, they need to quit being complaining about how much money they're making," one of the first statements they put after that is they complain about how much they're making or how much people make in their jobs.
Mhm.
When, again, you're only thinking of yourself in this scenario, when really that guy should be just thinking of himself.
What's up,
You know what I'm
Sean? I
saying?
missed
Different
your
paradigm.
chat.
If
It's
you
a
were in
different
that
paradigm,
paradigm, you would be competing with all the others in that paradigm too for
Yeah.
more than them.
Yeah, they're doing the exact same thing that the little guy's doing, except they're just making a crap
Downscale.
ton more
That's what I
money.
meant. If the guy's not
Yeah.
willing to go for the next $1 million, he wouldn't be willing to go for the next dollar if he was in the
Yeah.
poor scale.
Greatness
You know what
is
I mean?
sometimes
Mhm.
taken, bro. It's taken.
But I understand what he's saying though, but more so I think it's the idea of, the average person has an issue with athletes having that grandiose sense of self.
Sure.
If you want to make that
They're
argument, then
narcissistic.
that's one thing. But you can't make the argument that somebody wanting to get theirs versus the average person wanting to get theirs. There's no difference in that. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
So Tony,
Same
It's all
concept, just
relative.
different.
in some ways, Tony, I think there's a lot of push towards people, looking at people narcissistically, like thinking that that's narcissism, when in fact,
Mhm.
you have to have narcissism isn't a bad thing. It is, but not the act of like putting it to a good thing. It's all about balance, my brother, is
Yep,
what my point
yep.
is
And-
that if you
Okay,
don't take
yeah,
yourself seriously and you don't ask for more and you don't have narcissism about yourself, you'll never achieve your goals. You actually
No,
gotta,
but
like,
these athletes take it to the extreme, is what I'm saying.
I don't think
Well,
they
Tony-
do, bro, because
Tony-
you got to remember too, Tony. If the athlete that's at the pinnacle, at the top, getting the most money, if he's not pushing it further, then the billionaires that sit at the top, they're the ones that have perception. To the little one, like us, that have nothing, they're the ones controlling the real narrative. That guess what?
Exactly.
They're
I
not
was just
taking
gonna
your
say.
money, Tony. They're
Yeah.
taking
I
the
want to say
billionaires.
this real
And
quick.
that's why
I
it's
just want
not.
to say this real
And that's
quick.
why, unlike what Kaepernick said, that's why it's not like gladiatorial slavery in Rome, because it could be worse. We could be taking it to the extreme of that they did back in the day. See, we've actually gotten better, Tony, over the centuries. Back in the day, the big sports in the society were intertwined with their politics. Even
That's right. Yep.
I mean, like, not just like it is today where we see politics on the TV. I mean, like, there were factions,
Senators
like the chariot races. They had fan groups, factions. Ones were the Greens and the others were the Blues, and they would go around town mobbing people to make sure that their political positions got passed in the Senate. You know what I mean? And all that.
See,
Like, it was even way worse than it is today.
But I just wanted to say real quick, you got to understand, Tony, that statistically speaking, the world in general, every average day people are just as narcissistic. The only difference is they're not put in the public eye for people to then condemn them for being narcissistic.
That too. And also, CT, to add on to that point, that narcissism view is driven by the people that have the bag of money trying to devalue what that guy wants.
Right.
Because they want you to think he's
The
narcissistic.
players today
He wants
aren't
you
like
they want the fans to go, these players are narcissistic. They want more money and it hurts the cap. Fuck those assholes. Give that son of a bitch. You know where he came from? He came from where we're at. He ain't one of them. He taking a piece of their ass.
Facts,
I'm
dude.
some.
Look, and it's all relative, right? Like I don't want to like brag or anything, right? For my age, I make pretty good money, right? But to a poor person, they may look at me when I'm trying to go get a raise from my boss, right? And they could be like, "Well, what are you complaining about? You got a house, you got a car." Like to compare to somebody maybe who's
still may be devalued.
Exactly. Compared to somebody who's maybe struggles to put food on the table, I may look like the richest person in the world, right? But does that mean that I shouldn't try to fight for every penny that I can get from the corporate overlords? Absolutely not.
From the man dog.
And especially these football players. Consider this, Tony. Consider this too. These football players are making the most money right now than they will ever have the chance to make in the rest of their lives, right? This is the lottery ticket that these guys are getting. And if they don't cash in now, there's a very good chance, a high probability that they will never have an opportunity to make this kind of money again.
Not only is it's even more than a lottery ticket because it's a lottery ticket they made themselves.
Exactly.
To get yourself to even to this point, first of all, the support system of the people, the families, the sacrifice, the immense amount of everything, it's worth something. And if you can get a piece of that, you got to take it. And that's
think
that's
about
the
all
deal.
the people.
And
think
it
about
also
all the
hold on,
players
Color.
that
It
were
also
not drafted 5th overall and got a $38 million signing bonus.
and you got to also think, they have this pushing that down only raises the cap, only forces the owners to give the cap isn't set by players. It ain't set by
as a fan,
people.
it's really
It's
easy
set
to
by
say,
these owners,
right?
And they said it because they don't want to fucking one. They say it's
take a pay
competitive, and I
cut for the
agree.
team,
There is
dude. Take a pay
smart
cut for the
reason
team.
for cap.
Realistically,
I'm not saying
though,
no cap.
like, would
What
you
I'm
take
saying
a
is
pay
they
cut
could take that cap
for a
and crank it up
team,
$40 million
right?
if they
A
wanted
team
to
that
at any
would
time.
cut you in
Why
a
do they
second if
not?
could?
Because
Come on.
they don't want to pay more.
Like realistic,
And
if you're
it's
being
not-
honest, right?
And
These are human
I
beings,
understand
and they're
where
gonna
you guys are
cash
coming
in
from,
when
but
they can. You can't
the
fault a
reason
guy
why
for
I'm
wanting to get
saying
his
this is
money.
because I'm looking at it from the perspective
don't do
of
that.
I'm not.
Hey,
these guys
Orlando,
are
thanks for
asking more
following,
money,
dude.
But like, I feel like at least they should.
What are you doing up, dude? It's 1
They're
o'clock.
already getting paid. A person who is struggling
Awesome
to
show.
be
Thanks, buddy.
like Drew was
I
trying
appreciate
to
it.
say,
I'm on
person
a
who's struggling
Miami
to-
Dolphins panel here
working
debating
at a
some guys.
McDonald's who can't
And,
doesn't have a college degree.
We're
or
talking
anything like
about
that, or a high
players
school
taking
diploma,
less money to play for a
can't
team,
get a
and
promotion to the manager position.
look, you know me,
Tony.
right? If I can go
and
get
now-
some money,
now I don't.
oh, you don't
now
work
every
tomorrow. Nice.
story's different.
If I can go get some money, I'm gonna
but
go get it.
If someone didn't get a degree,
Or
but
there's some people that think that some of these football players should
Like,
take pay
you're-
cuts and stuff
people
to
got to take
make a team better.
control
I don't know about that.
and
we'll see.
responsibility for their own lives.
You sleeping in, dude?
Things aren't
Gonna be
in the
sleeping
position you want. This is America, brother. If you want things to change, you go out there and change them. And I understand it's not as easy as it's said like that sometimes, but that's kind of what it is. And you got to be able to, it's a mindset.
Okay, I
really,
understand.
Tony. It really
It's a
is.
mindset, but I'm looking at it from a perspective of a young person
Of
like me
disenfranchising. Yeah, you're seeing
Not
of a
yet.
perspective of people that might be disenfranchised and never get an
Tony, do you
opportunity.
work at
I'm
McDonald's?
gonna be here. I'm gonna be here.
Yes.
Well, just steal
See, but the
from
thing
them.
is Al Cap can say this
Got
though,
him.
because
They're gonna give you
and
a little
I
bit
know a
of
lot
Got
of my
him.
friends
You
who
steal from them.
I make great money, but I have friends and I have family that they work in skilled trades. And no, they don't have college degrees. I have a master's degree. But some of them are making only $10,000, $15,000 less than I am. And it's all about, you got to take your opportunity and make the most of it. And again, you don't need a college degree to make good money. You just have to be willing to work
Some
for
coffee and
it.
falling asleep.
And unfortunately, I'm not going on a dissertation, but I want to say it real quick. Hard times make hard men, and hard men make easy times, and easy times make soft men. And unfortunately,
no truer
that's where we
statement.
are. That is where we are in our generation, this generation, and the one before this one. That's where they're at. Is they're not willing to work for what they want. They
CT,
want
you
it given
can't talk to
them,
people
and
like
that's
that,
not the way
okay?
it works.
You can't talk to people like that.
I know.
Yeah,
way.
ooh, CT get canceled.
Boo this man. Boo this man.
I actually
No,
thought you were
CT's
going to
right
follow
over the
up.
100%.
target. Right over the target.
100%.
And hard men make happy women or something like that. That's what I actually thought you were going to say.
No.
About to go off the deep end here, boys. I don't know.
You have to get
It's more like
into
a
the gutter.
hard head makes a soft ass.
I don't know if I'd go that far, man.
Yikes.
A hard head makes a soft ass.
I'll leave
That's
that
what
one.
my mom always said.
Goodness gracious. So, what's up,
Crypto
Squid
coming
Games?
in with the slugger, man.
What's up, brother? Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I've been gaining weight, so I wear extra large. Just wanted to put that out.
Oh, so
Hey.
he's calling that he winning the jersey.
Hey,
Nice,
because you've been in the
bro.
gym though, right? It's
That's the
muscle.
type of confidence we're
Squiddy,
talking
keep
about,
smoking, man.
Tony.
Keep smoking.
You
That's
gotta
my
take
jersey,
your
buddy.
shit.
Keep smoking. That's my jersey.
Listen,
You
Squid
smoking
Games came
weed,
in
brother?
here right like an athlete should. He says, "Hey, y'all, I know y'all entering into this contest, but my jersey size is this." That's the type
my
of attitude
jersey.
you want from your athletes. Bro.
Exactly.
That's
good.
what you want, man.
He's got five
That's a
jerseys.
grandiose.
Chris, I'm humble for that.
He's got 5 jerseys hanging behind him. Is that enough
That's right.
for him?
That's a,
No.
no,
Yeah.
fuck that. I want every jersey. You know what
Squid
I always
Games
say?
needs to be given to us some pep talks.
I have this saying about fish because like when I go fishing in the ocean, I love to fish in the ocean because you catch good fish to eat, and I always go, man, it's the best fish I'm eating till the next fish I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the best until the next best.
Well, the thing is, I usually buy the jerseys once the guys are off the team, so it's like 50% off. So I don't have any players that are on the team.
You know what? That's actually pretty fucking brilliant, Squid Games. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking brilliant. What's going on, Nick?
What's up,
I seen you on
Nabo?
last night, man. It was a good show.
How
last
long
night.
have
Oh
you
my
been
God,
a fan
that
of the
was
team?
the best. That was
And
so fun.
Yeah,
yes
welcome
or
back,
no
man.
on
Glad I
Ross
didn't
and
scare
Brady
you off
Love?
totally.
Nah, dude, that was
I've been a fan my whole life.
Color, what,
I'm
you
on
taking
a
bong rips
panel.
over
The
there? Sound
panel
like
is
you're short of
not
breath, bro.
not in this stream, but I'm
I was
on
a
the
little.
panel.
I cannot tell a lot.
But I've been a fan my whole life. And do I
Chris,
think
I
that
was
Ross
talking to a friend
Brady
who's a
love
Jets
is real?
fan,
I think
and-
it's real.
And
Absolutely.
they were just
Terrible
they were
friend.
telling-
I think that I think Brady
Yeah,
wants
no,
to be
he's
part
being
owner here. I don't know if he'll
unrealistic. He said
play football here. I don't know
The
if he'll be a
Jets are
quarterback,
making the
but
playoffs, and the Dolphins are going to
we'll
be
see. I don't know, dude.
in the first round.
Interesting
next,
takes,
like,
though.
in the top 10 in the.
If you say you
in
want
the
some
first
Brady
round, I'm
love,
like,
you must no longer
dude,
call
what are you
yourself a
smoking?
might.
Your
No
Jets
way.
suck.
Look, I didn't say
Jets-
I
the
want
Jets
some
haven't-
Brady love.
The Jets haven't taken. It's
What
all
I
been
think is
lateral
that
moves with the
he'll
Jets, from
probably
what I
end
can
up
see,
being
but,
an owner,
you know,
a part
they
owner of the
did-
team.
they did
And I
do a
think
little
that's
bit
okay. That's
work on their
cool
offensive
because
line. I will-
that means he
I will
wants
give
to
them
stick
that.
it
And their quarterback,
to the
they
Patriots.
put
He
him through
hates the
test. He
Patriots.
did-
I don't
he
know
did
what
start
they did to
looking
that
better.
man,
I do see some
but they
talent out of that
he
kid.
hates them, dude.
Let's hope
And I
he
think if
doesn't-
he
I'm
ever comes
interested
here
to
and
see
as
the
a
Jets
part owner,
draft.
he's going to do whatever he
You know,
can.
I want to see who they pick up.
to
'cause
trash
if they get
them.
lucky with some of these
You
talented
get what I'm saying?
weapons,
All right.
we might see a better Jets team
All
than
right,
we
let's see.
think.
I'm gonna hop back over on the
But their
panel.
defense,
They
is-
have to
I don't-
just to keep up, Chris.
They do, man. Like the Jets are still in rebuild mode. I don't think the organization themselves have any.
I think their rebuild will be finished this year, though.
I think they're going to be sneaky good, though, man.
I think
kinda
I
Yeah,
think you're
I
right,
think
Color.
they
I think they're
rebuild
going to be
this year.
sneaky good.
He
and I'll
who
tell you
shall
what,
not
if they
be
start
named,
clicking,
but
it's
needs
going
to
be a
go
harder
somewhere
team to
else.
face in the
San
future.
Francisco.
But the
Well, you know, they
Patriots-
also
or
let that
wherever.
Sala guy get past his
He
second
who
year,
shall
too,
not be
so that's
named.
big.
Which
Well,
he,
yeah, I
there's
was
a lot
about
of
to
he
say
who shall
they
not
made
be
their
named.
they
in
made their
Miami
first good
Dolphins.
decision.
You
You
gotta
know, in the
specify
coaching hire,
which
stop
he.
hiring people like Gase and Rex Ryan, and you bring in Salah, and oh look,
Yeah.
things are
A
starting
guy
to
that-
turn
a guy
around.
that
And
sweats-
don't
a guy
forget
that
they
sweats
brought
hard.
in
You know
the
what I mean?
Philadelphia
Yeah, he does.
guy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys,
and
don't forget they brought in the Philadelphia guy, Joe Douglas, too. as
Yes,
their
yeah,
GM.
they've
Yeah,
got.
that's true.
There seems to be at least a steadying of the ship in New York in some ways, but that shit could go off that shit could tip over in no time.
Hmm.
But you know, it's the Patriots I look at and I think, wow, they've gotten weaker, bro. The Patriots look weaker, and that's why
Yep.
I see these reports when like they're showing the AFC East and like the Bills and the Patriots and the Dolphins. I'm like, the only reason that they put us in that list is because of the quarterback. And I'm sorry, Tuaniers.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
I still think Tua's a better quarterback than Mac Jones in any way. I'm just saying, as far as proven, Mac Jones.
We haven't seen enough of Tua. We don't know.
Has proven at least he can stay healthier. At least they're kind of neck.
What do you
and
think?
neck,
Are you a Tua near Nabo?
Output. But I would say,
what do you think about Tua?
Go ahead.
My bad, brother. Shit. I had to say when you were talking with Dolph Freaky, you were saying that you're feeling it for Tua. He's got the look in his eye.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, what my point is, I bet on Tua's upside over Mac Jones 1,000 times over. I mean, like, no way. If I had to pick which one I'm going with, I'm not picking Mac Jones.
We have had a sliding scale of replacements.
And really, if you're looking at Tua,
dude, facts. It's been rough. It's been a rough 20 years, dude.
I think he's got.
I'm 31. I've been a Dolphin fan my whole life,
of all,
dude.
I know he's more
it's been really, really
from
rough.
word that I'm getting from a lot of.
I just want somebody who knows what football is and can ball.
There's a seriousness about this young man.
I think so too. I think he's going to have
kind of what I was saying to you earlier, Tony.
I've been seeing the videos of him training. He looks really good.
It's a growing up kind of thing, and it's not an. I don't mean to call him childish.
We'll see if it translates on the field success.
Just something we all find at one point or another, and I get that there was so much stacked against him.
Brian Flores' playbook on the offense was
no
the back
less
of a
stacked
Cheerios
against
box.
this kid. Tom Brady wants his job. Lamar Jackson wants his
Nabo,
job.
you need to
Dolphins
come
are
to the
willing
Discord,
move
dude.
the
You
fuck
need to
off.
hop in the Discord.
Even most important, they're
with
willing
these
to
hot
go
takes,
off the
okay? Because next time we do a fan panel, I gotta have you on too.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is that this time next year, if Tua's not the answer, they're gonna go.
Yeah,
find
we
what
have
they
to be
believe
better,
be
right?
The
defense should be at least the same.
They gotta.
I'm interested.
He's gotta realize that
the defense should be the same, right? We have everybody back on defense, and we have the defensive coordinator.
I don't want to say more comfortable.
There's no reason to not be
with grit in his teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like
at least the same or better.
That's what you need, man. That's why when Deebo Samuel says, "I want all the money,
how's
bitches,"
the defense not the same?
I like that. I need that.
We're better.
That's who I want
yeah, we got Surtain
Somebody
and Madison.
Who's looking, I'm like, what's good?
Facts.
They ain't shook. That's all.
It's gonna be good. Dude. I can't wait to see the games.
It's a fight.
I can't wait to see Welker against Surtain and Madison. Dude.
Out of their mind.
The coach 1v1s are gonna be incredible.
Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of. You gotta have a little bit of crazy, but a little bit of mean as Mo. You know what I'm saying?
Hey Chris, you know what's gonna scare the Tuaneers if they see Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie at the Hurricanes game scouting Tyler Van Dyke.
And you have Welker
That's what's going to scare them.
I mean, look, it's not just Tyler Van Dyke, dude. There's a lot of decent quarterbacks coming out next year.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to see what this coaching staff does.
I'm not even going to look at that, bro. Because
they try to fix this team. This team needs fixing.
The best
the
case scenario
needs fixing.
is Tua works
Defense
out.
Looks good. Defense looks out.
No
That's always the best case scenario.
Nabo, I'm going to drop
judgment
the Discord link so you can join the
we
Discord.
We got 2 first-round draft picks, and now we're building a perennial playoff.
I don't know if you're a Discord kind of person.
Man, real quick, Cap for life with the donation. Thank you, Cap. Gio, you still awake, buddy?
I think Stephen Ross is going to
Gio,
sell
nobody
the team.
can hear you, man. That's why we can't hear.
issues.
That's why we're wondering if you're sleeping. Your mic's off or something.
Chris, Stephen Ross is going to sell the team in 3 weeks.
Tua looks fine, dude. I think he
Steven Ross
struggled a
sell
little
the
bit.
team in 3
I think
weeks,
he
or is he
struggled
getting
a
it
little
took?
bit
Yeah, he's
because
going to sell it. He's going to be a preemptive strike.
AS Automotive, family owned for.
He struggled a little bit because of injuries, dude. The ribs and the hips. It's gonna negatively affect you.
I heard y'all talking about.
You gotta.
It's
people don't like
the
to talk
default
about that.
audio, Gio, not the desktop audio.
Hold on, caller. What did you hear us talking about, Colin?
People telling y'all to sit down and stuff. And I was at the Dolphins Patriots game, last game of the season, and I get the cheapest ticket, so it's like $80, and you're in the third row, right? And I have motherfuckers saying, Ajayi, sit the fuck down. And because I'm standing up on third down and shit, a Dolphins fan approached me, like an older guy, like he was gonna square up real quick. I mean, nothing happened. He ended up shaking my hand after and shit. But they were telling us to sit the fuck down, Dolphin fans and shit. I was like, what are you talking about? We got the better seats than y'all, and you're telling us to sit down.
You know, I mean, look, it's a sporting event.
Yeah,
I can't
weird,
lie.
Dude. Stand up. You stand up if you want
I don't know
to.
anybody who could go to as many games as I've gone to and ain't gotten to a scuffle at times, especially with the drinking and the stuff like that. It kind of gets rough and rowdy.
You ever got the beer tossed at you?
I mean, no, nobody. Listen, I'm not.
I've
the
got
guy.
one
I
spilled
don't get the
on me,
beer
but not thrown, not tossed.
Yeah, I don't get beer thrown at me. I'm not that asshole. Maybe I threw a beer or something. I don't know. But
if you're getting hit with a beer,
well, that I'm only throwing it at the guy that needs it. Sometimes somebody needs straightening out, and the way I kind of look at it is that I'm doing this guy a favor right now because he's looking for it.
Teaching him a life lesson.
Not a troublemaker. I'm a trouble ender. That's what it is. Not a
okay.
You were just cooling him off,
I didn't
Chris.
realize
It was hot outside. You were just cooling him off,
hilarious.
man.
Nah.
No big deal, dude.
Yo, what's up, Gio?
As long as it's not a Heineken or a Budweiser.
I didn't put the name together with the Discord name. I'm like, but now it makes sense. My bad.
Again, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. You guys fucked me up.
I forgot I wasn't muted. That was my bad. I was talking on my stream and I didn't mute over here. That was me. I'm a jerk.
Yep. Drubitron done threw a wrench in my whole ordeal.